Hello everyone and welcome to an analysis of the second park management guide for Jurassic World Evolution 2. We were all expecting a species field guide, but Frontier decided to surprise us. This guide was all about guest management. Tell me in a comment down below, would you have rather had a species field guide or do you prefer this one?
As you open the gates to your park, you should prepare to welcome guests with very different interests and needs. You'll need to cater to a range of interests, including general, adventure, nature, and luxury. It's up to you to create the experiences your guests will love and remember in your Jurassic World. The wide range of guest needs can include preferences in dinosaur species, attractions, and facilities. Customize your guest amenities and attractions to meet those needs and ensure the success and prosperity of your park. After all, happy guests mean repeat visits and a successful park.
As we already knew, we will have 4 types of guests: general, adventure, nature, and luxury. And each type of guest has different interests that we must cater to as park managers. General guests are interested in seeing a lot of dinosaurs, surprising, whereas thrill-seeking adventure guests are more interested in dinosaur infamy and excitement. Luxury guests will want to be pampered while visiting, and nature guests are looking to see dinosaurs be comfortable in their habitats. These different types of guests will be drawn to different areas of our park, and we must fulfill their needs by building the appropriate amenities and attractions for them. You can check various heat maps to see what each area needs, and don't forget that positioning your amenities is just a small part of running a successful park. So how I think this is going to work is, say you have a T-Rex, which may have escaped once or twice and may have eaten an ankylosaurus or two, that sort of thing, which boosts its infamy rating. Of course, adventure guests will be drawn to this Rex like moths to a flame. The surrounding amenity buildings therefore need to have the right internal modules to suit their needs. A restaurant needs to have an exciting spin on it, otherwise the large amount of adventure guests that are in that specific part of your park will not be happy with the restaurant and therefore will drag down your overall park rating. It's an interesting system that I can see adding some much needed complexity to guest management. It might even be a bit of a challenge to balance the buildings and internal modules to get it just right. In the current game, as long as you just cluster the necessary amenity buildings in hubs near your viewing attractions, you're pretty much golden. I, for one, would appreciate for it to be a bit harder, but hopefully not too hard. I'm pretty much Goldilocks over here. I want to be able to play Jurassic World Evolution 2 when I'm like dead tired, as I currently am. Jurassic World Evolution is my comfort game. Let's take a closer look at the footage we got in this park management guide and see if we can pick up any clues. For starters, I would like to point out that this animation, which takes its elements from the in-game guest management screen, has updated the background images. As we remember from a few weeks ago, this management screen had placeholder images from the first game, and it is the reason we added Albertosaurus and Nigersaurus to the list of dinosaurs. These images have now been replaced and these dinosaurs no longer appear. I don't necessarily think that this means these dinosaurs aren't going to be in the sequel after all. I'm still assuming that Frontier knew what they were doing and were paying attention when they put in those placeholder images. It would have been a pretty big oof if they used images of dinosaurs that weren't going to be in the game, even while knowing that they are just placeholder images that would eventually be replaced, because they knew how much people would be scrutinizing every little thing. But of course, mistakes can be made. These species have always had an asterisk behind their name for how they've been confirmed, and that asterisk is surely going to stick now. Unfortunately, I could not spot any new dinosaur reveals in this park management guide, which is a first. But we did get our first look at the Ankylosaurus, which was confirmed to be in the game a very long time ago. I think the first time it was mentioned was in the Game Informer article, which was a long time ago by now. But interestingly, we hadn't seen it yet. Now we have. The skins are kind of boring. You know how I feel about skins. I don't find these particularly inspired, but it's a cool dinosaur in and of itself, so does it really need cool skins? I mean, in my opinion, everything needs cool skins, but that's just me being Buffalo Bill. And we've seen them before, but the video also shows off the placeable Spinosaurus skulls, lights, and flags. I also noted that the color of the parasols on the buildings can be changed, and that made me wonder and also hope that we can also change the colors on our individually placeable items, including the tables and the parasols, so that if we wanted, we could literally make everything match. Because, like, imagine being an OCD park builder, I certainly can't. And it looks like the hitboxes on these decorations might be little to none, given how these lights are placed on a super narrow strip of exposed ground, and we previously saw that the tables and parasols were placed directly onto the path itself. I'm really loving all of the buildings that we're seeing. The building customization is genuinely shaping up to be one of my favorite things about the game so far. Interestingly, we have not seen any changes to the attractions, restrooms, or hotels yet, even though it was previously stated that the hotels are considered amenity buildings, so they should fall under that umbrella and include customization options, and it was also said that attractions could also be customized. Perhaps that's something that's just not ready to showcase yet. I do love that all the amenity buildings, including the hotels, come in the sizes small, medium, and large. We see the small hotel here, and it's a world of difference between this building and the huge hotel from the first game. They show a super mega wide, thick, fancy path right here, but based on what we saw last Friday during the live gameplay, it looks like pathing works the exact same way as it does in the current game, unfortunately, so I don't think we can have a path this wide with the settings. I think we just need to use smaller path and fill it in ourselves. A little pet peeve that I have, and this is nitpicking at its finest, or worst, it depends on how you look at it, but we can see that the entry building has 2 doors and 2 pathways. You would assume that one is the entry and one is the exit to split the traffic between the two. But there is actually no difference between the 2 doors, which makes it kind of an empty design choice. Like, sure, it looks cool, but it would have been much better if it had actual functionality. And on the topic of guests, they wear hoodies now, but other than that, they look pretty much the same as they do in the first game, phasing through each other and through doors. I'm pretty sure they are once more essentially a particle effect. That might not be the best term, but I think you know what I mean. Just like rain and snow, they are generated in masses and there's no individuality to them. They're just a visual representation of something that is really only going on in the numbers in your park management screens. Personally, I played Jurassic World Evolution for the park building and for the pretty dinosaurs, so I'm not too miffed, but I'd be lying if I pretended that it wouldn't have been nicer if they'd taken inspiration from Roller Coaster Tycoon, one of my all-time favorite games growing up, where you could click on each individual guest and just check them out. How cool would it be to see whether someone is general, adventure, nature, or luxury? See what their favorite dinosaur is and which attraction they were on last and what their specific personal satisfaction level is. And even like little randomly generated thoughts like, did I just see a guy ride a motorcycle alongside velociraptors? I saw a yellow raincoat in the Dilophosaurus exhibit. Uh-oh, I might die now. Share your thoughts about this park management guide in a comment down below. If you want more Jurassic World Evolution 2 content, subscribe to the channel because that's exactly what we do here. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. You'll both enjoy it, you kinky little... Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy smashing that like button.